Why men are lonely in the postmodern era?
Gerbert.
What the fuck did they do to my shit? Why does it feel like that? You said, do I like the Doritos tacos? Yes, but they're overpriced.
Do you have a strong sense of community? Do you feel isolated without any real identity? Does your worm ever get frustrated?
Bro, what the fuck is this? Who is this?
Feeling the touch of a woman. Hi, my name is Kitten Jones, and for most of you, I think I know the answers to these questions already. But one question does remain that I do not know the answer to. Is it your fault? Today I have brought some statistics along with me to try to illustrate the problem of male loneliness. I decided to take matters into my own hands. You
said it's satire?
Taking hormone blockers, start transitioning into a woman just to make life easier. So I'm non-binary at the moment. I'm just doing a little cat boy look. So please address me correctly into the comments. My pronouns are kitty, cat. Also, as you may have noticed, I went to the Shaolin Temple, became a master of the staff. So if you don't address me correctly, I will obliterate you with my newly found skill set. So yeah, you better watch your mouth, bitch. A Pew Research study from 2020 found that 51% of men aged 18 to 29 are single, compared to only 32% of women in the same bracket. This is with most men looking to date and most women not looking to date. And it's also important to mention that this data was collected pre-Modelo, and this is true for all the studies I will be bringing up today. So whatever they say, just imagine them being a lot worse. There are
What the fuck was that? What?
Many others.
Did you just lick his fingers? No, we're not gonna glaze over that. What the fuck?
Whatever they say, just imagine them being a lot worse. There are many other studies corroborating these findings, including the general
He's so fucking weird, dude.
social survey one, which I've talked about a lot, as well as the percentage of high schoolers who have ever dated, which dropped 30% from the 70s to...
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at that graph. Holy shit. Holy shit. And that's 2014. From 1977. Look, I'm not gonna lie. You know what caused all this? Technology.
Since we watching trailers, here's the trailer for Plague Tale Requiem, which just launched. It's a sequel to Innocence, which I definitely recommend giving a play.
Bro, why? Hold on. Why the fuck is this shit here like that? Pre-COVID. Mind you, right? That's pre-COVID. So you already know after COVID, this shit is lower. This being here is nothing. This shit is lower than this now, in my opinion.
2014. So that one's probably way worse now. And what connects all these things is a significant drop, a sudden change and downward slope that happens in the Zoomer generation. This is a Generation Z problem. And this is not just about dating either. 1/5 of men admitted, keyword admitted, to having no friends. And 32% admit to not having...
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy, and it's true. Sometimes I be feeling like that too. Like, realistically, y'all my friends online. Then after I turn off the stream, I ain't talking to nobody. Who the fuck am I talking to? It's sad, bro. It's sad. You said myself. Yo, I'm telling you.
Having a good friend. 61% of Americans are miserably lonely, according to the UCLA metric. And we have plenty of studies to suggest that these are mostly men.
Baines. Yo, now he fighting him? What did he do?
I mean, this is a serious issue that society as a whole needs to take more serious. But why exactly is this happening? What factors are involved? In an article called Male Virginity is Rising, but not for the reasons incels claim, they point out, the writers point out that social scientists attribute this to the fact that not as many people are getting married, and if they do, they're getting married way later on in life. But this just leaves us with more questions. Why aren't people getting married?
Why aren't people getting married? Because we start realizing that, like, as men, if a divorce happens, who loses the most? Men. Because men finally started realizing that when you get put in that predicament of like marriage, and if shit hits the fan and everything goes south, what happens? 50%. Same thing with when children get involved. If you decide to have a children with your significant other and shit hits the fan, what happens? The court's gonna do what? It's like everything is against men whenever it comes to family court, and when it comes to regular court in terms of like things with marriage, everything is against men, realistically speaking, if we could keep it a stack and a half. So I feel like that's one of the major factors why like, people now are like, yo, I'm not even gonna get married, fuck this shit.
And many people might also say mainstream articles like this are ignoring a few uncomfortable truths that also play a big impact. But what I'm going to try to show you is that none of these things are necessarily the right answer. And it's not even that they coexist, but they reinforce each other. A foundation of this issue that I don't see being discussed very much is an issue of demographics. A healthy population pyramid looks like a pyramid. You know, people keep on sprouting. There's more young people than old people.
Yeah.
Take Sub-Saharan Africa, for example. Healthy birth rate, there's a lot of youngins. Now change it to the US, Canada, lots of westernized countries. These places, it's starting to reverse. There's a bunch of old fucks, pretty much is what I'm saying. It might not look terrible immediately, but there's a whole lot of problems that stem from this and the declining birth rate. If you look at the average age of countries, it's like 40. In the US, in Canada, in the UK, the average age is 40. Whereas people a few generations ago, the baby boomers, most other people, when they were growing up, were their age. When they were young, most people were young. As a Zoomer, this will seem very foreign, because most people, if you go outside, are old.
True. That's actually true.
It depends on the area. But for a lot of areas in the United States, it's just so many old, saggy fuck. Make no mistake, these demographics very much have an impact on loneliness, and male loneliness specifically. In this age bracket we're looking at, 18 to 29, men already outnumber women. But if you look at the dating market, this difference is even worse. This is for many reasons we'll get into more later, but where the hoes at is a very salient question.
Where the hoes at?
I mean, they're getting kind of hard to find. I'm beginning to think they're hiding in the most unsuspecting places. Like maybe I'll go to a Magic the Gathering tournament and just see a bunch of bitches there. It's possible at this point. If we look back at this Pew Research study, the age bracket where men and women's single rates are the same is when men are 18 to 29 and women are 65 plus. So what are all these young bucks just supposed to so what are all these young bucks just supposed to start guilt?
Exactly, gilf hunting. I'm not out here trying to go 3 strokes in and I break a bone, you know? My back, my scapula.
Hunting? I mean, goodness gracious, shout out to all my my cougar crusaders, but this is just not dignified. I mean,
Facts.
Hey man, looking at the raw data, if you want a GF, you better just go down to Sandpiper Crossing. That's where all the hoes at. I mean, it might be the move if you're not going to turn into a woman, just start going after lonely old women, and all their cats are going to be licking your toes while you're trying to No, imagine you're hitting it from the back, and then that bitch just passes away.
Yo, you're hitting it from the back and it makes that Minecraft noise with like the bones.
Maybe if Granny was built like Tsunade.
Or the dry bones sound from Mario when you step on Dry Bones' head.
Oh, Gertrude. So yeah, the ratio.
That was the sound. He's a clown for that.
So yeah, the ratio is just not chill. There's a lot of old people in general, and not that many young people. And this does increase male loneliness because older men, which there are a lot more of, are able to date down in terms of age. which leaves a lot of young dudes like wondering what to do, and the old women who the old men would be pairing up with, they're also lonely, so that's what leads to that. There's also this thing where a whole lot of women are identifying as LGBTQ. And, you know, some people might say a lot of this is they're just making it up or virtue signaling. And maybe that's part of it. I can't know for sure. But I also think it's possible for many reasons. These women just don't want to date most men. But getting back to loneliness in general.
But then that's where the problem starts, because it's kind of like, look, there's this problem right now where, like, you notice whenever we watch videos and it involves like dating, the problem is that girls want a 1% man. But the thing is why would a 1% man choose you? Which is like every girl, like, I'm not even gonna say every girl ever. There's a large majority of girls. Like, if I was to give an example, like New York City, as dudes, as us guys, we're not looking for that much for us to get into a relationship. All we want is a girl that can talk to us, chill with us, let me fuck. Maybe we could go out and eat and we could have a good time. We could even share each other's emotions and feelings. I don't mind, bro. Like, if you with me, you with me. I'm not asking for much. But then when it's like a girl's like, oh, she start putting all these weird ass parameters in the way. Oh, 6 figures, 6 feet, must have his own car, must have his own house, must own shit. All these types of weird ass like credentials that they must have in order for them to pay attention to you. And it's like, bitch, what do you have? You living with your mom in a basement or some shit, you know? And then I'm like, well, why are you asking all this from me when you ain't got shit yourself? Like, you said we all dying alone? We kind of are, man. The thing is that, look, long story short, girls in today's age, they have to lower their standards.
It's that
I know that sounds fucked up, but they got to.
Which is why you saw them celebrating the death of Kevin Samuels, who was preaching this exact shit to men and women.
You said it's that mindset women and people on Twitter hate, which is why you saw them celebrating the death of Kevin Samuels. Yo, Kevin Samuels was spitting facts, but people just don't like to hear the truth. People like to stay in this simulation of just like being fed like bullshit information so you can feel good about yourself when that's not the case. But like I said, in all honesty, girls nowadays, they have to lower their standards because, like I said, they have like this very, very, very high wall that they want us to vault over. And then it gets to a point that me as a guy or anybody, any dude in the chat, that once you see this wall, you instantly just think to yourself, like, why the fuck am I going to go beyond? Like, why am I going to do all this extra work? Fuck this. That's why a lot of the time, like, you ever see girls that they're like, oh, I like it when a guy chases me. I like it when he's pursuing me, this, that, and the third. Me, if I tell you my feelings and I'm like, yo, I don't know, bro. Hey, I think you're attractive. I think you're beautiful. I want to know if we could maybe go out. We could get to know each other. Maybe we could go get some food or something. If you already playing hard to get and you already like shut me down, you're telling me like, I don't feel like it. I have work that day. Like, you know, you start making up excuses. Right there, I'll instantly cut you off. I'll be like, you don't care about me. You don't want me. You see my intentions. You see I displayed my affection for you. If you don't feel that way for me, on to the next. That's what's happening to a lot of guys nowadays. Everybody's just moving to the next thing. So then girls start getting lonely and then they're like, why isn't he pursuing me? Because we ain't got that kind of time. I ain't got time for these games. You ever seen that one guy on YouTube? I ain't playing these games. That's literally every guy nowadays. We're like, yo, we don't want to play these games. I like you. Do you like me? Yes or no? Yeah? All right, let's make something out of this. No, I'm getting the fuck out of here and I'm moving on to the next person. And that's what's happening. Like I said, as guys, our standards aren't even that high. If we could spit right now, my standards are not that high. Okay, I don't want to body shame, but the only thing for me that I will say is that I like girls in all shapes and sizes. But if you look like you're on a TV show, like, you know, like the TLC shows where it's kind of like my 500 pound, shit like that, I'm gonna be honest, I'm sorry, man, I can't date you. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Like, you're gonna kill me. Look how small I am, bro. I'm a cute ass small Dominican. If you lay on top of me, I'm gonna die. It's gonna be like the Kohozuna in Splatoon. Like, you know when that Kohozuna jumps in the air, bro, imagine one of them shits landing on me. I'm dying on turn 1. You said my guy? But look, other than that, that is like the only thing I could think off in the top, like I could think off the top of my head what would be a deal breaker. Other than that, if you're chubby, that's fine. If you're skinny, that's fine. If you if you chubby, that's fine. If you skinny, that's fine. If you're in the middle, that's fine. But if you're ginormous, if you're Kohozuna, that's a different story. I'm gonna be like, I'm kind of out of here. But if you chubby, that's fine. I'm not that shallow. I'm not gonna be like, oh shit, she a little chubby. I don't like that. That's fucked up. If I find you attractive and I vibe with you and I think you're pretty and you look good to me and you chubby, I don't give a fuck. I'm fine. You said, don't worry, it's your preference. We can't fault you for your preference. Nah, but some people will get offended for that. Like if I say, hey, I would not get with a girl who looks like a Kohozuna in Splatoon, they'd be like, yo, you're fat phobic. And I'm like, not really. I'm not fat phobic. It's just a personal preference of mine, you know? It's like everybody else's personal preference. Like that's why girls also have that's why girls also have oh my God, I can't say that word. Girls also have that personal preference where they're like, they want to get with a dude that's like this. They want to get with a dude that's like that. It's the same thing. It's all preferences. But the thing is even with the words used like preferences, people always want to take that out of context. Like if you say, hey, I have a preference, like, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a preference. You said any girl from Cali? Muscular girls are hot. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. If I see a girl, she got a six-pack and she got a little bit of muscle, you think I'm gonna be like ill? I'm gonna be like, oh, good shit.
Oh my sweet princess, where can I find you? How do I remind you of the dream we share?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my Prince Charming, where can I find you? Thank you for the resub, Albies. At the gym, you'll see them 9 out of 10 muscular. Kless, that's your weakness? Kless, he be going to the gym and he be seeing like that one cute girl that, yo, there's always that one girl in the gym. And I feel like everybody in the chat knows. You guys ever seen that one girl in the gym who's always doing squats? And they always got like these tight ass leggings and they're always like next to the big ass waist just squatting. And sometimes I be seeing them hitting like some big ass heavy weights and I be like, damn girl, like kill that shit. Fuck. They want all ass, let them be. Nah, look, when girls got a big ass badonkadonk and they got them like big legs, like the muscular legs, girl, if you worked out for that shit, all I could do is appreciate it. I'll be like, God damn, that shit looks amazing. You said they just want men to watch? Not 100%. But sometimes, I don't know, man. It like, I wouldn't say 100% of the time because I'm not going to lie. There are some girls that sometimes, like, they wear a little bit of things, like, just so they could get a couple eyes hitting them because, let's be honest, girls like it. Girls will always say to the end of time like that oh, fuck males sometimes, this, that, and the third. But girls like the male attention. Like, when we give you that look, like when you working out and shit, you feel yourself a little bit. You start... Because, you know, if a girl dresses up and nobody says anything to her, she gonna feel a certain type of way. Like, let's keep it a stack. If you dressed up all good, you ain't wearing a bra, you got one of them shirts that got like your titties there, them shit's looking nice and plump and you looking fine as fuck and nobody compliments you, you gonna feel a certain type of way. You gonna be like, oh my God, am I ugly? Why isn't anybody saying anything? Like, what the fuck? They just wearing something comfortable.
I would turn into a convertible.
True.
Story time. I gave my number to a girl yesterday. Still waiting for a response, but right now I would say you would be far more successful asking for her number rather than giving yours. I thought it would be gentlemanlike, but it never worked so far.
No, one of those things that I also realize, a girl, right? One thing I ended up realizing is never give them your number. You know why? They're never going to hit you up. You have to, one thing I learned, you have to ask for theirs. And if they don't give it to you, all right, don't give them your number because they're not going to text you 100% of the time, or maybe 90% of the time. They're not going to text you. Because I could think off the top of my head how much girls I personally met, and I've been like, hey, how's it going? This, that, and the third. Yo, here's my number. Never got a text from them. It's true. You have to ask for theirs, and if they don't give you theirs, they're not interested, and you just got to keep it pushing. They're not going to text you, and it sucks. They'll get your number and then forget. Cap. They're not going to, if they actually like you, they're not going to forget. They're going to text you back. But if they never text you, they're not interested, and that's it. And it's literally just move on.
I know a lot of kids, they grow up in a neighborhood where there's barely any other kids. In the boomer era, this was unheard of. You grew up and there were all these kids around you. But now you can grow up in a neighborhood and it's just a bunch of old fuck. I'll tell you what happened to me. Growing up, I wasn't really impacted by this. I grew up in sort of a black neighborhood. It wasn't very atomized.
It's almost like we have an imposter among us.
Almost like we're having an imposter among us. He was the only white kid. Bro, he's the only white kid. Yo, man, this shit. Seeing pictures like this reminds me of like my childhood, man. Yo, I'm telling you. I went to a public school when I was a kid, like right near the projects. Oh, man. It was no joke in that school, bro. And then when I went to high school, and then like what's his name, freshman year in high school, oh god, I had all the Jamaican kids wanting to beat my ass for no reason, bro. I didn't know what I didn't know what I did, but I wanted to get the fuck out of that school. I was like, get me out of here, bro. They all want to beat my ass.
Almost like we have an imposter among us.
On my block, there was a good amount of kids I was friends with. I would play football with the kids across the street. There was this kid,
he kissed her in the forehead.
His name was DeMarcus.
He started dancing. Hey,
Go to Marcus.
go to Marcus.
One time, I can't remember the details, but we were out in the backyard standing by the grill, and we got the idea to like, he was like, yo, put your hands in my pants and start rubbing my balls. He didn't say it like that. We were children, and even back then as a child, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, isn't this kind of weird, dude? But he was
I told you, kids be wilding out.
like, nah, man, it's not weird at all. It'll feel good, trust me. So eventually it escalated. I did it to him, he did it to me, and then we started doing it at the same time. So both of our hands are in our boxers rubbing each other's sweaty balls. And then my dad walks out of the house to go put some burgers on the grill. He looks and he just sees us rubbing each other's balls. He doesn't say a word, he puts them on the grill and goes back inside.
Damn.
So yeah, that happened. This is a completely true story. But here's the thing.
I mean, I believe you. I mean, why would you lie about that story?
Probably can't happen in 2022. It's a different age. These kids are just growing up with all old people. Imagine if I was 50 years older. That would make the story pretty fucked up, but we were just kids, you know, it's fine. But in high school, I moved out of the city where I was living and into the suburbs, and I didn't know any of my neighbors after that, and there were barely any kids. It was just like this suburban community right off the freeway, and it's just a bunch of old fucks. And this is what
you said. Nowadays, kids don't rub each other's balls, bro. Like, look, I think I could remember telling you guys there was a kid in my school who was doing shit like this, like what he's describing. There was a kid in my high school, bro, like freshman year. No, it wasn't freshman year. It was 6th grade, actually. 6th grade. There was this kid that I used to know there. He used to do this weird ass thing where he would just randomly walk up to you, grab your hand, and once he grabs your hand, he will put it down on his crotch, and then he will yell out, "Don't touch it." And I'm like, who made up this weird ass fucking game? And he used to do that at everyone in the classroom. You said, oh, he was one of those kids. Bro, he did that at everyone in class. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with this kid? Like, why is he randomly grabbing people's hands and putting them on his balls and then yelling out, "Don't touch it"? I don't know, man. Kids was weird back in the day, I'm telling you.
The atomization, the people are just less connected. There's this disillusion of community.
That's a scary image of an
Bowling
alien.
Alone, This was written all the way in 2000. The author talks about social capital, the sort of amount and quality of relationships that you have that help you get through tough times. And he brings up a whole lot of data suggesting that social capital is overall declining pretty fast. All the way back in 2000, he was analyzing this stuff. And I'm telling you, all these things are connected. The demographics, marrying older. When you marry older, you have less kids. So there's this whole, the setup of the family now. You have 4 grandparents, 2 parents, and 1 kid. And
that almost to me. Some kid tried to do that to me in elementary. I thought it was weird and made me uncomfortable, and I punched him and ran away and told my teacher. Weirdest experience in life.
Bro, that's gonna be the weirdest shit, man. I'm telling you, and so much kids is gonna be doing that shit.
An only child.
Thank you for
and
the
this
bits,
is just
man.
an atomized, lonely person waiting to happen. It's a nuclear family, but it's not a good extended family with a lot of relationships you could branch off to. They grow up in a neighborhood. There's not a lot of people their age. The amount of Zoomers that actually have a good social circle now is definitely the minority at this point in time, because what is considered a friend or a community, it's really not like a Discord or like a group of people who play some game on Xbox Live. Like, these people aren't really there for you. They're not really your friends. I am atomized. Most Zoomers are atomized. I have a few friends, but they're all part of different groups that don't overlap with each other. I don't have a strong social circle. The internet is very much a large contributor to this problem of, Zoomers not having good social circles.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's because of technology also. The fact that technology advanced, because you got to take into consideration when they were showing us the graphs, everything was before the internet, before online dating, before social media, before making money on the internet, before showing yourself off, advertising your lifestyle, trying to get clout, all that bullshit. Before all that heavy internet, it was kind of like you were put, and then you gotta also take into consideration, this is all before streaming services, before Netflix, before Hulu, before HBO Plus or whatever the fuck, before everything. Like, there weren't really that much things to do back in the day. So back in the day, people just got into relationships because you gotta really think about it. Like, motherfuckers was bored. You be home all day and you're like, fuck, I'm just watching TV and I'm watching the commercials and shit. And you're like, man, I gotta go out and get some pussy. Or like, I gotta go out and actually interact and talk with people. And then that's why back in that day, it was much easier because people were socializing more. People were going out more. People were talking to each other more. And that's what, I guess, then from that era, like way back in the day, that's why people started being more into relationships. But nowadays, people aren't talking. Nobody's interacting. Nobody's socializing. Everybody's doing shit online. People's trying to cancel motherfuckers online for no reason. And then he was also talking about like social skills. That's why you see a lot of people nowadays with weird ass fucking social skills. Like Zoomers nowadays. I'm not saying every Zoomer, but they be like some Zoomers where like they can't even have a conversation. Like, motherfuckers is weird as hell. Like, you're just like, hey, how's it going? I don't know. It's okay. You said My Hero Academia fans? I don't know, bro. Like sometimes you could just see it, bro. Like, I hate being in situations when people don't have social skills, bro. Like, it's so awkward. It's so awkward. Like, have you ever been in a scenario where, where you were with someone and motherfuckers is weird? I hate that shit, man. It is not that hard to be like normal social skills, but as time progresses, it's kind of like I feel like people are not being as social as they should be because a lot of people are just losing that social skill. You said they be so dry. You said I used to be one of them. Yeah. But then that's why I can confidently say the internet is like a double-edged sword. Social media is a double-edged sword. It's a gift and it's a curse. It's a gift because you get instant pleasure. You get to see whatever you want. Bro, that's another thing. That's like a whole other topic we could talk about. Like stimulation and pleasure and shit. The internet and all this stuff has like fucked with our endorphins and oh my God. Like we could go on for hours with that shit. There's just so much stuff. Ever since technology like took over everything, a lot of things just started like going downhill.
Because now kids who are not popular, losers, you could say, but not even, you don't even have to be a complete loser. You just have different interests, or you're not a super popular kid. Now you could just go on the internet and connect with other people like you without actually having to form a strong community in real life.
See? Beautiful. That was beautifully said. You could just go to communities. You like you don't even have to put that much work in to form like social bonds anymore. Like, because the internet took that away. Before, like, if you wanted to be like part of a club in school, you had to actually go to the club. Then you had to see these people. Then you had to interact with them. Hello, my name is Manny. I'm from this, that, and the third. How are you guys doing? Let's get into the club. Like, socializing, all that shit is gone. You said clubs are fucking ass, though? They're not too bad. Depends on the club. Then it turns into Doki Doki. It's even harder to find the club since they just all make their own social media online. That was a question I was just going to ask you guys. Do they still do clubs in school, or they don't do that anymore? But then you got to also take into consideration post-COVID, because even COVID fucked everything up like times 10. Like, everything was already getting fucked up, and then COVID just like added on to the fuckery. Now everything is just super fucked up. My high school has clubs. Yes, but no fun clubs. Damn. They still do clubs last time I checked. No hobby clubs, just math club. Ah, it's the boring clubs. Ah, we all gotta read a book together. Oh, we gotta read Of Mice and Men. Batman, Arkham, and Town Biz. Can you please recite to me what happened in chapter 2 during the large plot twist conclusion, please? Town Biz is gonna be like, I didn't read the book. You are out the club. Everything else has to be found online. My high school had a Chinese yo-yo club. That sounds interesting. My college has a Smash Bros club. You know what's crazy? My sister's college also had a Smash Brothers club, and she used to beat everybody up in Smash Brothers. But that was in Smash 4. Your college has an esports club? That's cool. My high school had a rock climbing club. Ooh, that sounds cool. Monica Cinero with the 53 raids. Yes, sir. Coming in strong. Yo. Thank you for the raid, baby. I appreciate you. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, 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 welcome. Oh, God, man. We were just talking about a lot of life stuff, so I don't want to bore y'all. We were talking about a bunch of life stuff just now. Yo, don't tell me OBS crashed again. Why? Yo, why is OBS crashing? Am I still live? Am I still live? I'm still live? Bro, OBS crashed again. I'm not even going to press the button. If I press it, then it's going to fully crash. Look. Whoops, OBS crashed. How is it crashed and I'm still live? You know what? I'm not even going to pay attention to the prompt. Let's just keep on streaming. But yeah, don't click shit.
Wanna know why I never joined a club in all 4
Yo,
years
shout
of
out.
my
Somebody
high
shout
school?
out
There is one block
to
on
Cine
every
Roll. Somebody shout him
Thursday
out.
where
Shout him out. Shout him
everyone
out. Shout him
has
out.
a
One of the
free
mods.
period
Shout
called
out
X block and it
Monica
lasts
Cine Roll.
40 minutes, and that's when most people meet up at their club. Fuck spending a free period like that, especially during freshman and even sophomore year when the rest of your school periods are filled with classes.
Hold on. Let me just shout him out real quick. Okay. Thank you, Monica. Just Monica. What were you streaming?
Every day, I imagine a future where I can be with you.
What were you playing? Splatoon? Battle Block? I have never heard of Battle Block. I'm gonna have to check that thing out. Oh, you're playing Splatoon? Yo, so tell me how. To Cine. You know what gun I started playing with today? The big ass, what's that shit called? The big splatling with the booyah bomb. I started going crazy with that shit today. The Hydra splatling, yeah. That's like my new favorite gun now. I've been going crazy with the splatlings. Those are like my favorite guns now. I don't want to play anything else. I don't even want to play Slosher. I don't want to play Slosher, any of the shooters. I just want the splatlings now. He says, skip the video and play Evil Within. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. It's getting late. It's getting late. Let's do that. Let's do that.